Hello, my friends, and welcome. My name is Jeff Birch. I'll be getting started here in just a second. I've got a special guest who'll be popping on any moment now, too. So I'm really excited to be speaking to you live tonight. I got some great stuff. And like I said, we'll get started in just a second. I'm going to just turn my heater off so I don't have some background noise, and we'll get going. All right. Welcome. It is Wednesday, February 18th, 2015. It's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central here in Oklahoma. That's where I'm at, is Oklahoma. I'm right outside of Oklahoma, a little town called Shawnee, and I'm coming to you from my home office. And just really excited to be here tonight, really excited to be sharing some really valuable information. And I saw my guest who'll be hopping out real soon here. I saw his list or email he sent out to his list, and he's got a special bonus. So kind of excited to hear what he's been up to, and haven't talked to him in a couple weeks. So I'm excited to see what he's up to and see what he's got to share tonight. So looking forward to him hopping on. Once again, my name is Jeff Burchell. I wasn't always here in Oklahoma. I actually grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada. My story is that I'm the struggling draftsman who was able to find a way to turn things around. I was able to find a way to create a different way of living that has been much more beneficial to my overall life. I struggled in different areas. You know, when I say the struggling draftsman, it wasn't necessarily all about money. We have different struggles in life. I made really good money as a draftsman, to be real honest. The large sign company that I worked at in Las Vegas, they are one of the largest sign companies in the world. They do some of the just most incredible projects you can ever imagine, and it gives them the ability to pay people very well. So my struggles weren't always financial, although as my income increased, I put myself in situations that, you know, I made sure my debt was matching that income just as quickly. And that's a lot of us do that, right? A lot of people, we only know what we know. We make decisions based on the resources we have available to us, and just based on what we know, what we think is best at the time. Hey, it looks like Dan's hopping out here. Awesome. Welcome, buddy. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to be here. Sorry it's a few minutes late. I had a few little technical difficulties, but I'm ready to rock.
No problem, man. I got started here. We got a couple viewers, so I was warming things up a little bit. I gave you a real good intro there because I wanted to pump it up a little bit.
There were some good things in there.
Oh, absolutely. I saw that you had sent out an email earlier to your list, and I have a little special something for everybody. So I'm kind of excited to hear what you have to share tonight, and good to see you, man. How was your trip up to see your Panthers last week?
It was great. You know, it's for those of you that don't know, I'm a credentialed NHL writer for the Florida Panthers, and thankfully for the life that I have here in the online world and the blogosphere, I'm able to, from time to time, just jump at the drop of a hat and head out to cover my sports teams, or we have another trip coming up we're going to be leaving town for a few weeks starting next week. So it was great to be in Minneapolis. I'd actually never been there before. I actually would rather be there at a warmer time of year, but but hey, it's hockey season, so it's all good. So that was awesome. Minnesota was great, and it was good to just take a midweek trip and just head out of town and do what I love. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I saw you posting on Facebook some pictures from Mall of America. That's I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of that place too. That's pretty incredible, huh?
I'll tell you what, man. I I walked in there, and it looked like any other mall from the outside. I mean, you park, and I walked in, I think, through the LL Bean side, and I walked through. I get into the main mall section, and I'm like, what's the big deal? I mean, this looks like every other mall I've ever been in. And then but I was hungry. I was going there for lunch before I was leaving town. And so I went to the little, menu to see where everything is, and it was about 4 times longer than any menu I've ever seen before. And so there was that many stores there. So I was looking for the food court. So I found out it was on the 3rd level of 4, and so I started walking towards the food court, and then it opened up into this huge area with nothing but roller coasters and rides, and I mean, kids were going crazy, and I mean, it was. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And talk about the types of restaurants they had. I mean, they had like fine dining, they had McDonald's, they had every single thing that you could want there. And in fact, I think that the food court there was larger than any one floor of the mall that used to be by my house in Orlando. Just the food court. Just the food court. It's crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I understand why it's a huge attraction. I didn't even have time really to like look at all the shops, you know, which really isn't a guy thing anyway. I mean, I wasn't going there to shop, but I spent so much time in the food court just looking at the types of restaurants that were there that that's where all my time was. It was awesome. I mean, really, really awesome.
That is cool. Like I said, I've seen pictures that everything's indoor, right? The roller coaster, everything's under the ceiling, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a huge room. That I mean, I guess it's 4 stories high. I mean, it's 4 stories high, and it's probably, I don't know, 300-400 yards wide, and they just have all these rides crammed in there with. I think they have even like a little mini Tower of Doom for little kids, like at the Gravity ride where you just drop in a car. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't, and it's perfect because it's right adjacent to the food court. So you know you can just go right down the stairs and get on the ride, or come back up and get a drink. I mean, it's awesome. Really awesome.
That is awesome.
Can you believe it?
Well, this is just working out really great because the topic of our conversation tonight, you know, doing a home business that you actually want to do, and you're living proof of taking hold of that idea and just running with it. You know, going after, just like you said, in the middle of the week, just leaving to go up after your favorite team and do what you love to do, your journalism, and experience the city while you're there. It's just awesome. I'm just real happy to have you back this week and share that with us. The timing is just awesome for tonight's hangout.
Thanks, buddy.
I was just getting started. I was just giving a little bit background on myself. I've really been working on kind of branding myself in a way. I want to reach out to a specific person out there. I know specifically who I'm talking to. A lot of times when we get started in home business, we are just kind of, it's like a shotgun. We're just shooting at the barn door hoping we hit something. And as we learn, as we develop, we start to get focused. And, you know, I started as the draftsman. Not too long ago, I was a struggling draftsman, and I was able to find a different way. I was able to find a way to actually start leveraging my passions. Some of my passions are entrepreneurship, and personal development has become a huge passion of mine because it helped me get through one of the hardest points of my life, along with doing what goes along with, you know, what we're talking about tonight. So it's hard sometimes to find something. A few years ago, I got into this business, and I strictly got into it based on money. And I've come to that decision because this business was literally these little tiny packets. They looked like the little packets of chew that guys chew. And you'd put it in your water bottle, and it was add minerals to your water. And there was a big, extensive comp plan. It was a multi-level marketing business, direct sales business. And I got involved with this, you know, obviously strictly for money, because my passion is not these little packets of minerals. I mean, where's the excitement in that? The excitement is in the plan, right? There's a saying we hear a lot in these businesses, is that the vitamins taste as good as the comp plan. And that's where I was at one point. I was just chasing the dollars, chasing those silver bouncy balls, and I was never actually doing anything that fulfilled me, never actually doing anything that provided value out into the marketplace that attracted people to me. So a couple years ago, I come across a video, and I see a glimpse. I see an idea of something a little bit different that I can use my passions, that I don't have to, you know, go out and pitch a little packet of minerals. That, I mean, really, who's going to get into that kind of stuff? That was strictly a business that's probably not around anymore because there was no real vision for that. Where was it really going to go, right? And what I saw was vision. What I saw was a hope for a new future, not just for myself, because at that time I really couldn't see much hope for myself. I was in such a bad place that my vision was so cloudy that I needed to latch on to somebody else's. I was going through the motions, doing the things like going through the classified sites and applying for jobs and different things, and just trying to find where I actually fit in. and I discovered some problems. One is I was overqualified, and I don't say that to brag and boast. I say that because I value myself way more than any one of those classified ads puts on there saying that that's what that position pays. And I fully believe that. But if I go get a job, if I resign myself to being the draftsman for the rest of my life, I'm always going to be settling for a portion. I'm never going to be able to actually have more ownership of it. And that's why entrepreneurship, that's why home business has always really appealed to me. And when I realized that I could follow my passions, I could share things that interest me, and something that I'm about to do, I've been thinking about this a lot. I love playing Minecraft. I admit it. I love it. It's a ridiculous game, but me and my son, we play and we have a blast. And we're going to start a channel where we're going to start recording our Minecraft, and we're going to start a blog, and we're going to put our Minecraft on our blog. That's how, I mean, down to a specific niche you can get with this. If you want to share about your remote control helicopters and get paid to do it, that's what we're sharing with you tonight. We're going to reveal to you a way that by making a simple decision, because it wasn't that long ago that I was sitting there staring at a button on a screen. It wasn't that long ago that Dan was sitting there staring at a button on a screen, and we just decided, you know what, it was worth it to see if it was actually a way to pursue our passions, to pursue our dreams. And almost 3 years later, there's been ups and downs for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen this go through some evolutions and changes, and at one point I made a decision I was going to stick with it no matter what. But I had not the excitement of the comp plan. You know, I had that in the beginning when I first got started. It was exciting. It's exciting as hell to make a commission. It's exciting as hell to make $3,000 in a day. But what happens on the days that you're not producing those kind of results? Well, you know, my enthusiasm for what I'm doing carries me through. My hope for the future, my knowing that I'm in the right place has let me continue to drive forward no matter what. And today, excuse me, I just have never felt more sure about where I'm at in my life. And, you know, I want to pass it over to you for a minute, Dan, and just, you know, get your thoughts on what you're thinking about, you know, having the home business that you actually enjoy doing, actually want to do.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned you mentioned earlier there's a specific type of person that you're talking to. And earlier this week, for those of you that are watching this, earlier this week, Jeff shared with me a sort of a draft of a video and something that he's putting together for a niche that he is knowledgeable about, passionate about, and it's a very, very specific niche. And when I saw it, I actually didn't even know what he was talking about in the video, and in parts of it, only because it had to do with, you know, being a draftsman, and Jeff has talents in sign making and things like that that I don't know anything about. But that's why it was so great, was because he's not talking to me, and that's one of the biggest problems that people have when they first start their business, is that they think that they're going to talk to everyone and everyone will come, and it just isn't that way. If you know, Jeff has certain areas of expertise. So, and I have areas of expertise. I'm a golf pro. I'm a sports writer. You know, I'm a published travel writer. Those are the things that I'm passionate about. So, it has taken a long time, and luckily for you, we're here to tell you that when you start your own business, and if you do decide to start your own business by clicking the banner below this video tonight, which we encourage you to do because we know it works, the thing that is important for you out of the gate is that you don't need to talk to everyone. You need to speak to people like you that have the passions that you have, because only you can relate to the things that you like, and only people that like what you like can relate to you in the way that you would say things. And, you know, I was talking to another marketer the other day. He's big into selling T-shirts on Facebook. Now, this goes away from the blogging part just a little bit. But he's a big T-shirt seller on Facebook, which is a massive business. It's a huge business, T-shirts on Facebook. And he was showing me a campaign that he was running. He lives in Minnesota. He doesn't know, he's a big sports fan, but he lives in Minnesota. He showed me a campaign that he was marketing to rugby fans in Australia for a certain team that I had never even heard of before. And I'm a sports nut. I've never heard of this team before in my life. okay, the rugby team in Australia. And he was killing it. He was killing it. I think he made like $3,000 on the campaign for $500 of advertising spent. So he netted $2,500 in 7 days on this little campaign. But the key was, he's a sports fan. He knows rugby. I know rugby. I just never heard of the team before. So he was able to craft a little ad that spoke to the people he was marketing to. And that's really all that marketing is just relating to people that have a similar passion and be able to communicate with them in a way to solve a problem for them. It's not, a lot of people have this idea, and unfortunately internet marketers get a bad rap sometimes because there's a lot of people out there just trying to spam their links everywhere, just trying to make a quick buck. But the people that know what they're doing and the people that are succeeding in this industry, like Jeff and I, we're providing value to the marketplace. We're trying to help bridge those gaps in your life, especially financially, where you may be struggling and maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't have a way out. Maybe you just don't. You're not aware of the way out, or you're not aware of another income stream that you could create for yourself, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever. I mean, it's really unlimited what you can do, but you have to get started. At least day one, you have to get started, and then learn what you have to learn to succeed. And when I first started, I made the mistake of trying to market to everyone. And it was tough. It was tough because how can your message be specific when you're talking to everyone with all these different passions and interests and everything, and most of which you can't relate to because you're only you, right? I mean, your passions and the things that you really enjoy have a limit. I mean, I'm not a big, I don't sail. I'm not a sailor. So I'm not going to talk to a sailor about sailing because he'll just think I'm an idiot, right? But if someone wants to talk about Miami Hurricanes football, or wants to talk about golf, or wants to talk about NHL hockey, I can talk all day long with anybody about those subjects. And those are the people that I target. Those are the people that I relate to. And I think that Jeff and I are on the same page here, that it's taken a while to find ourselves, and it's taken a while to realize who we are in the marketing space, because when you start a new business, I mean, there's a difference between when you're marketing to everyone, you don't have a business that you want to do, and that's the theme tonight. We want you to have a business that you want to do, and when you feel like you're going uphill up this huge mountain with everybody in the world, with everybody else that's in the same space barking at them and throwing their own marketing messages at them, that's hard. That's not a business you want to do, because you know what? You're going to be talking to a lot of people and in contact with a lot of people that you really don't have a lot of, relatability with, except for the fact that you both want to make more money. Well, that's fine, but if you can't connect, if you can't build a relationship in this technological world where we keep getting more and more detached from each other, that's where the problems arrive. And that is what I've learned, especially in the last 6 months, where I was going through a little period last year where I was really struggling because I lost my way and my identity in my business, and I was trying to be too good at too many things, trying to be too much to too many people. And once I stopped doing that, things changed, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Is that the business that you would want to do means that you're dealing with people that are like you. And that's my goal, is to make sure that you know that there's a huge pie out there of successful people that are making money online. And there's so much money. We can't guarantee anything. We're not guaranteeing anything, but there's so much money in this pie. You need 1/10 of 1,000,000% of that pie to be comfortable and to be able to live however you want. You don't need to be everything to everyone. If you're a Yankees fan, you can market to Yankees fans. If you are a sower, you can market to people who sow. And the formula and the system for how to do that is always the same. You're not reinventing the wheel. How to succeed is already there. It's just making sure that you're only talking to those people because you like those things, they like those things, there's the relationship, and that's where business is made. That's where business is conducted between like-minded individuals. You're not going to see you're not going to see an auto mechanic going out to play golf with a doctor trying to sell a doctor auto parts, right? It just doesn't, it's stupid, right? You're going to be out there talking with like-minded people. And once you are able to focus on that, and in today's world, in Facebook and Bing and Google and everything, it's so easy to find just the people you need to talk to. It's almost too easy once you realize that you don't have to talk to a jillion people to be successful. Really, it only takes a handful if your message is the right, conducted or crafted in the right way. So that was a little bit long-winded, but I just wanted to, as far as getting a business that you want to do, you have to be able to put the blinders on and focus on the people who want to do the same things that you do. And if you're always focusing on those people, then there's a business that you want to do because you're surrounded by people that love what you love. And that's fun. That's not work. That's fun to be able to talk to people all day long. Like for me, if I'm talking to people all day long about the Cubs or the Dolphins or golf, I mean, that's not work. I mean, I do that all day long. So that's one of the big lessons I've learned, that's for sure, over these last 2.5 years online. And I'm sure you can relate, can't you, Jeff?
Oh, absolutely, man. One thing I'm really loving here is that we're really giving people a big contrast in differences here. Excuse me, and I'll explain. Just looking at the two of us, you're a sports writer. You're more outgoing. You're more social. Where I'm more of an introvert. I grew up real shy. I've been able to put a lot of that behind me. But I'm still more of a technical guy. A little bit more behind the scenes. It can be very inspirational, very motivational when I want to pour it on. But typically, I'm more of a kind of a laid-back guy. But I can still market to people. I can still talk to people. I can still reach out and influence people that are looking for a better way too. Because we can each do this in our own way, in our own passionate way. Dan is writing about his sports stuff. On my blog, I blog a lot about my just personal development, my story, my journey, my challenges. So the contrast is that you can really do this in any way you want. You can use this for a strictly business. I'm in the process. I've been working on this for a few weeks of setting up a complete blogging site to simulate exactly what I'm doing here to help start generating more business for my sign consulting, my offline, my day job stuff. And I know that it's going to work because what I've learned has already transformed me into a completely different person. Where I was a couple years ago, that's when I was that shy, introverted, draftsman in the dark drafting room. Now I'm actually the guy that goes out and brings the business to the company. I'm consultant. I hate to use the word salesman in this, even though I don't think that the word sales is bad at all. I believe that we're all salesmen, and we need to be, and in fact, we need to all be studying how to be better salesmen all the time, because really, sales is about communication. It's not about even selling a product. It's about just learning how to communicate effectively with people. But I've been able to completely transform from a guy who never ever spoke to customers to the one that's actually out there influencing people, letting them know that I'm there to help them, that what I'm doing is to provide value to their business, and then I ask them for the order and receive the money. And that's a huge difference from where I was not very long ago. There was a time, just a short period of time ago, that I was completely lost. I had no idea what I wanted, had no direction for my future, and I've been able to really put focus in my life. I know what I want. I have a major definite purpose that I repeat to myself. I have daily calls, daily rituals that I do every day. I blog often. I email my list. I market because I've plugged into the training. I've become part of the entire system. I don't just do this. I live it. This is part of my life. I'm a sign consultant and independent business owner. I'm a blogger. I'm a coach, a motivational speaker. This is all parts of my life that I encompass together to be who I am, so that every day I just live and do the things that make me the happiest. I get to do the craziest stuff these days. The other day, I was, this is crazy, Dan. I never would have imagined this. So I'm out here in Oklahoma, and I do a lot of driving. I've been working with a lot of casinos lately, and the casinos are all over the place. And I was on a freeway. It's 102. It's a 55-mile-an-hour, two-lane road. And I'm coming up, and I can see up on the hill this silhouette in the road. And I'm thinking to myself, what what is that? And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, holy crap, there's a cow in the road. And I'm like, wait a second, there's something on the cow. And I'm driving, and I'm like, there's something riding the cow. And he's got a cowboy hat on. So I'm reaching for my phone, man, and I was able to snap a picture just in time. There was there was a dude riding a longhorn bull on a highway, man. I, I mean, I would have never been able to see something like that a couple of years ago if I didn't just make a decision to start putting direction in my life. I mean, that's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I was curious. I had to look it up, and there's actually a place up in Stillwater, Oklahoma, that breeds longhorn bulls that you can buy that are tamed so that you can ride them. They have full saddles and outfits and everything. This dude had the big old hat, dude, the chaps, the big old shiny belt buckle blinding you as you drove by. I mean, it's I would have went my entire life in Las Vegas and never saw that. So
That is crazy. Crazy.
so I just share that as just an example of experience, right? If I wouldn't have made that decision, if I wouldn't have made a choice a couple years ago when I was looking at that banner and it was kind of pulsating on the screen, saying, "Hey, just give it a shot. Get out your credit card and go for it because who knows where this will lead." There's obviously good intention there. There's obviously something there that has interested you, or you wouldn't have watched that far. You wouldn't have watched this far. So why not just take it another step and see for yourself? Because honestly, how do we learn best, right? As a draftsman, I didn't even go to college, guys. Everything I did, I learned on the job. And I'll tell this story with the architect another time of why I didn't go to college. And on one hand, he was my dream killer, but on the other hand, he saved me thousands and thousands of dollars because I didn't go to college. But everything I did was on the job training. I learned it by just doing it, by diving in and experiencing for myself, and I became really, really good at it just by over time putting in the reps, putting in the practice. So as you can tell, we're excited tonight. We're passionate about what we're doing, and we come to you live with humility. There was a time not too long ago that I was scared to death to get on a camera behind a camera and speak to you, and I knew in my heart that I had to do this. I had to start making these changes, not just for me and my family, but I know that what we have here can make such a big difference out there. It can make such a big difference in your life that if I didn't share it with you, if I held this to myself, I'd be doing a disservice to the world. I would actually be not living the true potential if I wasn't speaking to you tonight, if I didn't step into this future, and if I don't continue stepping into a more and more powerful future and spreading that message out more and more. And that's what this is about. It's about sharing. We come every Wednesday and speak so that you can see it, so that other people on the team can come out and be a part of the experience and let other people know, hey, we're all real people. I'm not a robot that's spamming you from some weird place in Nigeria. We're real people. I live in Oklahoma. Dan's up in Chicago. We have our own lives that we live. We have our own interests, our own passions that we're pursuing. But the thing about this is that we found a tool. We've got this tool here that's so flexible and so adjustable that the sports writer can use it to follow his passions, to get out his word more, and so can the draftsman to start finding a new way in life and get through a struggle that almost wrecked him. And this could be your ticket to. This could be your way out of that rut you're in. You know what they say a rut is? It's a what are they, like a grave without ends, right? So Dan and I are here. We're reaching down in that rut right now. We've got our hands out, and we're saying, all you have to do right now is make a small decision. All you have to do right now is make the decision to click a banner below a video that you've watched for a little while now. And then get out your credit card and pay $7. We're not talking about breaking the bank. We're talking about putting in your email address. We're talking about putting in your name, filling in your address, and then making a small decision right now to see, you know what, is this really for me? I believe it is, or I wouldn't be here tonight. If I didn't believe fully with all my heart, I wouldn't have been here for 3 years consistently coming back. Every time I feel myself falling away a little bit, I find a way back because I know that this is the right place to be. I know I'm doing the right thing, and even I got lucky when what Dan was saying a little bit ago about that scattered message. I got lucky and found Dan. That's not common, that you're gonna just be shooting out there to the wind and come across a leader like Dan. It's when you focus. It's when you start speaking to people that want to hear your message, people that need to hear your message, people that are ready to hear your message. That's when you can start having an impact on people's lives, and that's what we've learned, and that's what I hope I've impressed you tonight. I hope that we're coming through loud and clear with what the real message is here tonight. And all you have to do is just see for yourself by clicking that little banner right below the video right now. And back to you, Dan. Why don't you take it over for a minute, buddy?
Sure. I'd like to get into a little bit of training just for a few minutes. I know that a large part of what we do here, and just internet marketing in general, depending on the opportunity, is just telling your story, and that's a lot of what we do. But a lot of times, what happens is, people. There's so much skepticism and negativity out there that people don't want. Some people just don't want any what they call fluff. But then they get into the opportunity and realize that they're going to tell their own story too, and then they're going to be fluffers too. But it's not fluff at all. If, again, like we were talking about before, if you can't relate to who you're listening to, then what does it matter? I mean, you're not going to join them. You're not going to let them lead you. You're not going to let them teach you. A lot of times people think they know everything, including what works, what doesn't, without having any education on whether it does or not. And I think that as far as what we're doing in Empower Network, $150 million in sales later, 3 years of longevity, a jillion companies have come and gone in the time that we keep growing. I think the proof is already there that what we do works. But the key about Empower Network is the blog. And I know that someone could say, well, I can just go out there and get a blog for free right now. Yeah, you could. What are you going to sell? I mean, do you have a plan? Is your blog monetized? Do you even know how to sell stuff with your blog right out of the gate? That's the beauty of Empower, is that your blog's already monetized, and at the core, I mean, everybody has passions. So if you are marketing a product in the blog, which is a platform where you can express your passions, and people that are reading it have passions too, and they want to get paid for their passions, then the cycle is really kind of takes care of itself. It's just a matter of keep creating content, which is not really work at all if you're creating content about that what you're passionate about. So if someone comes to your blog, and no matter how they reach your blog, whether it's through free, paid methods, whatever it is, they're obviously going to be looking at you as an authority because you have a blog. And if you're on top of that, if you're shooting video on your blog, you're even more of an authority because, let's face it, and Jeff can attest to this, not everybody likes to do video, and not everybody wants to do video. And if you do video, you already have a leg up on a lot of people because you are willing to put yourself out there, even in the face of criticism, needless criticism, because a lot of people are just stupid, and they'll criticize anyone for anything if they have balls to do something that they won't. And if someone else does it, then they must be assholes, or they're a scammer, or they're because oh my God, they're shooting a video. Oh my God, it's that's so ballsy. They must be a scammer. They must be willing to shoot a video to scam people, that kind of thing, which is just ridiculous. It's stupid. One look at Jeff and I, you should know that we are not scammers in any way whatsoever. We're just people that have decided to live life in a different way, and there's a lot of people deciding to live their lives in different ways, and 40,000 active Empower Network affiliates are there to prove that. But that's neither here nor there. The key here is about developing a business that you want. The key is you need to find out who you are and what are your passions, and then from that point create a business around those things. And it may sound ridiculous to someone who doesn't have their own business yet, but there aren't any successful business owners out there in the online space, except for a very rare few, that don't have their own blog. Everybody has their own blog. It's online real estate. It's a way to inform, entertain, teach. It's a way of being able to communicate with large groups of people that are in your niche, that are in your interest. And if they like you and they keep coming back and they finally see, not finally, they're going to see what you're doing right away, but they're going to keep seeing what you're doing all the time, which as far as this blogging platform is concerned, it's about just profiting on your passion. I mean, that's really all that it is, and getting the training on how to do it as well. Then once you have that, you are already considered an authority, much more of an authority than anybody else on some forum somewhere talking about the same subject. They're not getting read by the masses. They're getting read by a few people in a forum. If you put a blog out there and you start syndicating it and promoting it in places that you know you're going to have readership, that's when you really start to succeed. So the key is, if you're profiting, or if you have a blog surrounding your passions, then it is a business that you should want to do, because all you're going to be doing is talking about that which you already love. It is not work. Okay? So a lot of people make the mistake of creating a blog. Let's say you don't like marketing. That's fine. Then your blog should not be surrounded around marketing. You shouldn't be forcing yourself to talk about marketing on your blog if you don't like it. It doesn't mean that you can't market marketing products on your blog, because when you're profiting on your passion, the blog is a marketing product, right? So if you're a firefighter and you create a blog about the greatest firefighter stories, which would be a pretty cool blog, you're still going to have a banner on the side of the blog that talks about profiting on your passion. So someone that comes in to read a firefighter story might have a passion about scuba diving as well. Well, they're like, you know what, I've always wanted to start a blog about scuba diving. Let me look into this, and then boom, they're in the funnel. Then then the company is starting to do the selling for you, and all you did was just blog about your passion. So that is a really big key here. You need to understand that when you're starting a business, you don't need to do everything. In fact, it's set up to where you don't have to do everything. You just have to keep creating content that you already enjoy talking about. That's why it's a fun business to have. So the one thing that I have run into, and I've struggled with this for a long time, is having a blog where you have so many passions and interests that you put everything on one blog, and then you're so scattered that your blog has no direction. And someone could come to your blog and they'll see a blog about sports and about marketing and about personal development and about cooking and whatever, and it looks like a hodgepodge of nonsense. And yeah, it says, hey, profit on your passion over here, but there's no clear direction. There's no clear message. So if you're going to do the Empower route, in time we're going to be able to have as many blogs as we want, or I think it's up to 10 actually, on the same account, and you can create blogs for different passions. Okay? If you do it on your own and you create your own self-hosted account, make sure that you get a hosting plan that allows for multiple domains. It's really not that much more to do it. Make sure that your blogs are always simple. I ran into this problem myself again. I made another mistake, which happens, where you have banners on the side of your blog that promote a whole bunch of different things. So you have your profit on your passions, and then a lead generator, and then you have 4 different banners on the side, all of which don't have anything to do with the other, and it looks like you're out for a money grab. Okay? There's a reason that Google is Google. There's a reason that Google has become a verb. Okay? Because the site is simple. It's the simplest site in the world. I mean, it is a white page with a search box. That's it, and maybe a graphic on a holiday or something. I mean, that's it. That's all that it is. That's why it is so effective. So simpler is better. 1 banner, 2 banners, a banner and a video, maybe 1 more, and that's it. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. Keep it clean. And that also streamlines your message. I want to recommend a book for any of you out there that are watching out there that are bloggers already or are looking to get into blogging. And I want to put this whole SEO thing to bed. Some of you may know the term SEO, which is search engine optimization. Some of you know this term. Some of you don't know this term. It sounds very complicated. It is, it has been, it continues to be. It continues to be almost a mystery how to create very valuable SEO posts, because Google's always changing their algorithms. It's a very difficult thing to keep track of. It's getting to the point where SEO doesn't even matter anymore. Okay, and that's good news. That's really good news, especially for the beginner, because SEO can be very technical. There's a book out there called No SEO Forever. Okay, and it's by an author by the name of, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Harshajyoti Das. Okay, I'm going to spell his first name, Harshajyoti. Harshajyoti, last name Das, D-A-S. He has a couple Kindle books on Amazon. I mean, these books are like $3, $2, and they are chock full of goodness, okay? And that type of stuff. He also has one on, I believe he has one on blogging as well, which is how to increase your conversions and get your blog aesthetically pleasing to where your content is converting like 600% more. And that's huge. It's huge. Same author, okay? So look him up. Super cheap. I mean, a $3 book investing in your education. You have to be not only willing to do that, you couldn't be going to put your credit card in fast enough to get that information if you're a true entrepreneur, if you really want to succeed. So as far as the blogging is concerned, I mean, there's a couple different ways to make money. I'm going to go on the screen here in a second, a screen share. Blogging for a company or blogging for an MLM is huge, and luckily for EN, the blog is the core product, so it actually takes care of itself. You're actually blogging on the product, you're using the product, therefore the trust is even greater because you're using the product. Because anybody that's selling something that they don't actually use or own is kind of sketchy, right? We don't ever want to be those people. But you know, when you're using the EN blog, the banners on the side promote EN automatically, so you're already in good shape there. The other thing, let's just say, for instance, for me, I have a golf blog, and my message is all about golf. Obviously, I'm not going to be putting marketing content on my golf blog. It's about golf. So my banners are probably going to be golf. Even though it may go back to Empower Network, they're still going to be golf. It may be like, would you like to play golf every day? We'll blog about your passions. You know, something like that. It would still be in theme, okay? But the key here is there's a lot of different revenue streams that you can get into. And I'm going to just screen share here just for a second. I'm going to go into desktop, and I'm going to go into two sites that you need to know about that are huge for creating different revenue streams, because you know that when you blog, you're creating real estate that's out there forever, and that is huge. And it's out there forever selling for you. So why not have products that also help you make sales? Okay. Can you see my screen, Jeff?
Yeah, I sure can. Okay,
so I'm on a site here called ClickBank. Some of you may know of it. Some of you may not. ClickBank is one of many sites, but it's one of the bigger sites that has a huge library of affiliate products. And what I mean by affiliate products is products that someone else has created that you can sell. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to do anything. You just create an account with ClickBank, and you're able to sell any product that you want. Now, for me, I went into, if you look here, there's like all these different niches. Okay, I mean, just tons of niches here that you can sell stuff. So no matter what you're interested in, there is a niche here for you. There are products here for you, and you could create a blog post just around a product or products that you like in here. And like for me, I scroll down here. I'm on the sports theme here, and I click on golf. Well, here is going to be golf products. Okay, now do I necessarily need to own these products to sell them? No, you don't. But you can go to the sales page. If you like the sales page, you think it looks sharp, you think and you can get your stats here. You can see how these things are selling, what you would make per sale, that kind of thing. If you are already an authority and you already have a blog, you can go in here and sell any product that you like and create a blog post around a product if you like, and then syndicate it. You know, syndicate it. meaning share it on social media, share it in golf groups, share it in golf forums. Very, very easy thing to do. And the other big one is JVZoo. JVZoo is not the other thing. The thing about ClickBank, the only downside is they don't pay you as fast as some others do. I believe I think it's at the end of 30 days. I think it's monthly, if I'm not mistaken. JVZoo is instant, I believe, into your PayPal account. Actually, I think ClickBank is weekly. JVZoo is instant. And you get paid by the vendor, by the person who created the product. So here I am. I'm just in the top sellers page here. This tells you and ClickBank has this functionality too, where you can find out what are the top sellers, what's selling the best. And let me just go back to ClickBank here real quick. Little tip here. I learned this the other day. If you go into the find product, I'm in Marketplace. Okay. If you go into find products and just don't put anything, just press enter. You are now going to get the highest selling products on all of ClickBank. Okay. All of ClickBank. So you're going to find out, now this is going to be high competition products as well. A lot of people are trying to sell these things because they're selling like hotcakes. But it doesn't mean that you can't get in the game here and write some blog posts about these things, because if you start making sales because of your blog post, I mean, that's just autopilot income. And you did the blog post one time. It's out there forever, and you're making money on these things. And some of these things pay really, really well. Okay. Now JVZoo, same thing. JVZoo tends to be a little bit more of a marketer site, but if you go into Marketplace, it still has the same type of functionality. I mean, you have let's have this pop up here. Let's pop that. You have business, finance, cooking, employment, education. I mean, look at all of these categories that have product after product after product that you can just sell on your blog. That's in the theme of your blog. Okay, so if I go down to sports, see, I got golf right here. I can click on that, and now here are products in the golf area that I can look at their slice. Or I'm sorry, look at their. I was just looking at how to fix a slice. You can look at their sales page. You can see how sharp it looks. You can see how good the product looks. You can go online and get some reviews of these products to see if people like these products. And go ahead and get the link. Get in touch with the person that's selling this. Get an affiliate link for it, and write a blog post about it, and share it with your list or with golf groups on Google+, Facebook, whatever. It's a very, very easy way to create some automated income. But if you don't have the blog to begin with, you don't have anything. You really don't have anything, because you won't be able to build a list. You won't be able to build a relationship. You won't have any authority with anybody because you don't have the blog. So just wanted to give you those quick tips real quick. And then the other thing I just want to add, if you're going to create a blog, it really, really makes sense to create a Facebook fan page, a Facebook business page that is in line with your blog. So I have Dan Spiegel Golf Academy as a Facebook page, and that will tie into my golf blog because they speak, and then I can, my Facebook fans will then know when I put a new blog post up, and that'll send them back to the blog, which is the authority, and it's just a never-ending cycle of goodness for you as a business owner, and you can do it for any niche that you like or that you're passionate about. Okay, so I just wanted to show that to people that it's not. People don't understand that if you just write a blog, how the hell are you supposed to make money when you're just writing stuff? I mean, that's not really the point. The content is supposed to be good, but just like watching TV, I mean, how do TV shows get paid? How do networks get paid? They don't get paid by making the show. They get paid by the ads that are run in between the show being run. The advertising is what pays. And so just like on the internet, advertising pays. It takes go ahead and try to put an ad on CNN or ESPN. See how much it costs. There's a reason why it would be way higher to advertise there than it would be to advertise on a blog that's ranked 2 million or something in the world. So it's no different here. But the good news for you is that you control your advertising on your blog, and you control almost how many people see it. You can run paid advertising to your blog for cheap and get some good engagement and get some sales from your blog if you wanted to. But without the blog, and that's the point here, without the blog, it doesn't even matter. Without the blog, none of this matters because you need to have a home base. You need to have your own real estate, and that's what we provide here at Empower Network. We provide a blogging platform that's monetized and ready to go like nobody else, with a sales funnel that nobody has, that will automate sales for you just because you're creating content about what you love. And that really doesn't exist in this world. It just doesn't. It just really doesn't. And not in the way that we have constructed it, and not in the way that we have morphed into something revolutionary in the online space. So I know that was a little long-winded, and I'll turn this back over to you, Jeff, but I just wanted to give that quick teaching real quick because people need to understand that there are so many avenues to actually create income from the blog. It's not just about one company, one offer. There's so many things you can do. But once you get started, click the banner below, get your blog, get rolling. You'll get trained up on how to set up the blog in 5 seconds. And then once you're ready to go and start creating content, you can start monetizing it right away. I mean, you can literally start making sales from your blog the same day, really, if you create the right stuff. So it's a wonderful way to create a business that you want and that you like and that you're excited to contribute to on a daily basis.
Dude, I appreciate that bit of training. That's good stuff, and that's where I got my start in kind of internet marketing, was affiliate products. At one point I had I think it was 23 different websites, and they were built on WordPress. They were I didn't treat them like blogs though. I treated them more like static websites because that was my mindset at that time. But for example, I would go to ClickBank, and one was a perpetual motion generator. It was an ebook that taught you how to build a little magnetic generator, and I literally built an entire website around the phrase perpetual motion generators. That perpetualmotiongenerators.com was my website, and that was my main keyword. And I wrote 5 main pages, and then 10 blog posts, and then over time added more blog posts to it, and all of it was focused to that one specific ClickBank product, and it worked. It worked very well. It was a lot of work. I had to do all of the graphics myself. What Dan described to you is a much better way to do it, when you just kind of insert it as a, oh, by the way, or on your blog you say, hey, check out this product I found, because what I did, I had to do it all on my own. There wasn't a blog already in place for me to just plug into and utilize that was already optimized and had all the good plugins. I had to go and find all those plugins and install them and update the WordPress constantly to make sure that it was secure, and it still never got the rankings to really get a good traction either, because it just wasn't built right. And that's nice here. No matter what that is, if you decided to go that route, if you wanted to do the affiliate products, you get the Klaatu blog. It's completely set up and, like Dan's saying, monetized already to a completely different degree. But it's very simple to start just plugging in posts about that specific product. The difference is, like on that perpetual motion generators, the product was, the ebook was $49.95, and I think I made 60% commission. So I made, I don't know, $30 bucks or something like that, right? Which that's a good sell, right? Mm-hmm. But it was one-time sell, and then that customer was gone forever.
Right.
In our situation with our blog, with our monetization system, we continually earn. You continually earn as long as somebody keeps blogging. Every month you're paid over and over again, and we earn 70% commission. So we earn, which is literally, it's the highest in this particular industry commission structure. So it allows you to really leverage your time and get back more dollars, because that's what it's about. I mean, what is the point of writing a blog post for hours and hours and hours and then making pennies for it? It's much more effective to spend some time, write a good quality blog post, and then have that out there working for you, potentially bringing in you a single customer that can make you over $3,000 in a sell. I mean, that's powerful. That's leverage is what that is. And it's all right here for you. It's all set up. All the training's included. One thing I was talking about earlier, this transformation in my life, I learned the 12-step sales process inside our training on how to better sell this product, how to better sell online, better sell internet products. I learned a sales process that has improved my sales offline because I understand better how to structure my presentation now. I understand better how to effectively communicate with people, right? We were talking about that a little bit ago about effective communication. So utilizing these products, then we can start to blog about our passions. We can start to share those things that interest us and pop in those affiliate links like that. But then we can become better too. We can become better communicators and be more effective in spreading our message out there. And that's what it takes time. There's a lot of beliefs that are in there. There's a lot of self-limiting beliefs that you may have to overcome, like I did. I alluded to it a bit ago that it wasn't always natural for me to be behind a camera and make videos. My first video, I wish my YouTube channel, my first channel, didn't get shut down because it had my very first video I ever recorded on there, and it was awful. I mean, it was just god awful, horrible, the worst video I've ever seen in my life. But it's such a big testament to where I've come from that point. I wish we had our hangout from, believe it or not, we're like almost a year to the date from our first hangout a year ago, Dan. And I wish I had that video because I still remember sitting down in my chair here and my knees were shaking. My palms were sweaty, and I was terrified, And today I'm able to speak with confidence. I'm able to speak with certainty that I know that what we're doing is the right thing. I know that by stepping out of my comfort zones and following my passions, doing things that I actually want to do, I'm able to smile a lot more today. A couple years ago, I had somebody say something to me that was one of the most shocking things that I think anybody's ever said to me. We were in a meeting, and he looked at me and he said, "Jeff, you used to smile." And that stuck with me for years. For 3 years, I don't think I smiled. I don't think I felt happy because I was so focused on what I thought I needed to be doing, when in reality I wasn't following my passions at all. I was just grinding. I was just forcing this living, and it was tearing my life apart. It was tearing everything around me apart. It was destroying the relationship with my wife. It was not giving me the ability to be the father I need to be to my children. And focus is all I needed. I needed a direction. I needed something that I could latch onto and call my home and plant my flag and share my message. In the beginning, my blog posts were very random. Some of them were just complete stories that I made up as metaphors just for what I was going through at the time, just to release that crap out. And that way I could start moving on in my life, start putting it out there somewhere so it wasn't bottled up inside me anymore. And maybe you need that. Maybe you're watching right now and you just need a place to let things go and let go of the past and realize that it's not failure, it's feedback. And once you realize that and start realizing that you can make new choices, that we have the ability to decide right now today that I'm sick of it. I don't want to do that anymore. I want a new direction in my life, and we can go that way. We have that choice, especially here in America in this day and age. It's never been easier to start a business. I've been watching some of those what are they called, the history channels, as the men who built America or something like that, about Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford and Rockefeller. And if you compare the opportunity we have now to what they had to do to start a business to build their fortune, and in reality, that little tiny $7 investment that you could make right now today could lead you to the kind of fortune that those guys had, is just, it's mind-blowing that we literally have the potential right here at our fingertips with what some people might say this silly little blogging thingy is a multi-million dollar business. And all you have to do is decide to say, yes, that's what I want it to be. That's what I've decided. I've decided that this isn't a part-time hobby for me. This is, like I was saying a little bit ago, this is part of my life. This is part of who I am. And I've got big plans for my future with the Empower Network and this blogging system. And the sky's the limit. And I love it. I love the opportunity. I love the ability to provide my own value and in turn go out there and bring back a paycheck that is actually deserving of my life, of what I feel deserving. I believe that I'm worth a lot more than any paycheck will ever give me, and that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here tonight sharing, and I appreciate your time. We're at about an hour. Dan, if you want to throw in some closing words, if you got anything else to say, I'm done. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody coming in and watching us tonight. It's always good to just come back weekly and keep doing this. We keep getting better. I love these hangouts. I love the content we're bringing, the value that we're providing to our team and our prospects, the people looking at what we're doing. And I look forward to it every week, man.
Well, thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was good to see you too. And and I do have to run here in a second, but I did promise a gift for those that were watching. You can see below. There's a URL there called 12profitableniches.com. I had the pleasure of running into a business colleague. His name is James, and he shared some information with me that we created into a report. And you know, as far as having a business that you want, sometimes you need to actually see what is already profitable to sort of get the ideas going in your head about what your blog might be about. And there are certain industries, like the dating industry, obviously internet marketing, weight loss, energy drinks, fitness, you know, those types of things that are already very, very profitable. And some of them are common sense, some of them aren't. Some of them you'd be surprised. And so this report was put together to make sure that you know what's profitable right now. And then if you saw a niche that you're like, well, you know, I love that, I do that, you know, I absolutely could create a blog around that. That's where your goal could be, as far as like clicking the banner below, getting your blog set up, get your domain name, and start creating the content in that particular niche. So when you click on that link or go to that URL, there will be a little opt-in form. Put in your email address. It'll take you right to the email report will get sent to you, and you'll love it. I mean, it really is. I mean, it opened my eyes to a few things that I hadn't even thought about. And in that report, there are links to offers, like in ClickBank and JVZoo, of things that you could actually promote right now in those niches to start making some money right now. So it's all totally free, no strings attached. So go ahead and go to that website and get your free report. You will love it. I guess I'm going to sign off tonight. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope that you got some value from it. If you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook. Jeff and I both on Facebook. You can shoot us a friend request. We'll happy to answer any questions that you have. We're here every Wednesday. I may be out for the next couple weeks because I'll be out of town on vacation again, which is nice. But I may be able to do it from the road. We'll see what happens. But either way, it's always good doing these for you, and we look to provide more value in the near future. And I encourage you, if you're on the fence, just take a leap of faith. Be unusual. Don't be normal. Don't be like the masses. Don't settle for where you are in life. We never did. We never will. And we don't want you to do that as well. Just click that banner below. Get started for a measly $7. See what we do. See what we offer. See the training involved. And I think you'll realize that if you just did a little bit of work and learned just a few more skills, you could actually start to influence people in ways that would pay you so handsomely that you really wouldn't have to work for anybody else ever again. And that's our goal. That's your goal, hopefully. And we're here to help you every step of the way. So take care. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.